Hey guys, welcome back. Now, I'm not usually one to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but honestly, it is time that we put these cool kind of flat grays in our rearview mirror. Today, we're going over the ground shifting palette change that's happening in the 2021 colors of the year. So every year at this time, the major paint vendors will publish their color of the year, and usually a little bit of a palette that goes with it. But this year, it's seriously big news because they've been doing little tweaks to the gray for the last decade or so, and that's all been fine. But for 2021, it is a ground-shaking shift. And I'm so excited about it because in a way, it's taking the entire direction of the palette in a warmer, kind of more grounded, natural vibe. It speaks to sanctuary, spa, kind of well-being. It's very exciting. Now, don't freak out because gray isn't gone. It's just shifted a little bit. And we're gonna show you how to kind of like make all of that happen. Now, if you saw this video on Stop Painting Now, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Benjamin Moore. They are a major leader in color and produce a superlative paint product. But there's a couple of other vendors that I always check for this color trend story. Farrow and Ball is always fabulous. PPG, and I usually check out Sherwin Williams to take a look. So let me show you what's going on. So the color of the year from Benjamin Moore is this absolutely gorgeous Aegean teal. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful, soft, watery blue, and it's gonna pair fabulously with kind of like warm whites, and you can see sunny yellows, natural wood tones. This is absolutely such a gorgeous, happy, happy tone. And I love their overall palette because this overall palette coming in is kind of softer neutrals, a little bit warmer tones. I love this accent tone of the Amazon soil. Oh my God, it's like a yummy, smoky eggplant that is super groovy tone. Their muslin is beautiful, a great kind of a warmy off-white that would be amazing on a whole wall or on trim. Their potter's clay, oh my God, this looks like a little pot that's been sitting out on an Italian hillside and gotten weathered. It's amazing. And take note, they've included a couple of grays, but look at the difference. This Kingsport gray, which I've used for years, and the Silhouette gray, they're both deep tones and they're both nice grays, but they have a warm undernote. They are definitely bordering on a deep grayish, which is where you should be heading with all of your neutrals. Okay, so this is Benjamin Moore's palette of the year, but let's take a look at another vendor. This is Sherwin Williams, and they have introduced an extremely sexy color that they're calling Urbane Bronze. Now, it's a gray, guys, but it's this sexy sort of stony brown undernote to it that's really woodsy almost. It's great. It's a grounded tone, so it'll be a fabulous accent tone. But they're pairing it with a couple of palettes that look very similar to the Benjamin Moore colors. If you take a look at these, you can see they've got a little bit of a version of that eggplant tone. There's a nod to the kind of potter's clay terracotta color, which is great. A couple of grayish off-whites and kind of neutral tones. So you can see that again, they've made this huge left turn towards warm, natural tones that feel really kind of comforting to be in. And they'll be easy to introduce into your space. Now, a third vendor that I look at again is PPG, and you can again see that their palette is very similar to what's happening with Benjamin Moore. So this is not just a one-off, this is a big industry shift. So we're gonna start to see other vendors and manufacturers like wall covering people, fabric people, decor folks start to push out versions and iterations of these colors because this is now where we're going to start going. So this is an important thing to know. Now, I did mention that I look at one more vendor, and they don't necessarily do a color of the year because they're kind of a boutique collection. They're out of the UK. They're a superlative, amazing paint company called Farrow and Ball. You've heard me mention them before, but they have a colorist who's simply amazing, and she's got vision like nobody. And their three colors that they've picked are kind of a brownie, a sort of a smoky heavy eggplant, and kind of a rich, kind of a tanner's brown almost. It's really a beautiful set of tones, and you can see that they're pulling in, and it's all sort of tying together. If you took all of these four palettes and laid them out, you could work with any one of these tones together. So you can see what's happening coming up for this decade. So now guys, we're linking to everything down below, of course. And if you have not smashed that button yet, what is going on? Hit that bell, ring that button, do those things, subscribe, and, you know, do all that. All right, moving on. How can you use these in your space right now? Oh, let's talk about that. Now, because this overall palette is kind of softer, warmer, a little bit more neutral in some ways, it covers a ton of styles. You can go anywhere from Minimalist, Scandi, all the way through Farmhouse 2.0, Transitional, Traditional, Boho even if you're a Maximalist, you're gonna love that potter's clay, let me tell you. So everybody's covered with this new direction. And if you've just redone your painting, don't even sweat it, because these are tones that you can introduce in all kinds of ways. It doesn't have to even be in paint. It can be in decor. It can be in some upholstered pieces, or accent walls for bedrooms. I love this look. Or maybe a little bit of cabinetry. This kitchen is so amazing. Maybe you choose to kind of like redo your island color in the kitchen if it's an already all gray one. Formal enclosed dining areas. Oh my God, they would be so fabulous in these eggplants and these lovely urbane bronzes. Even office areas would be great because they would be great spaces to work in. Accent seating, pillows, artwork, decor. You can I love where they did this little one where they introduced two tones within the bookshelf itself, which I thought was fabulous. So there's lots of opportunities to be able to bring these in slowly and see your palette kind of stay up to date, warm up, and get more grounded and feel more fresh. Now, the great thing about these tones is they'll also work with a lot of different metals. So whatever you've got going on metal-wise, you're good. Obviously, they'll swing with the brasses and the golds as well, but you know, they can work with some of the silvers. Darker flooring surfaces, not a problem. Look fabulous with the lighter wood floors. So that classic gray and white kitchen that we've been seeing for a while can also really be grounded with that. Use the urbane browns, or switch out your cabinet tone or something. So there's a lot of places that you may be thinking, ugh, I just finished this, but you can add them in a little bit and it'll be great. Okay guys, so I love your comments and I read them all. And what I read probably, I don't know, 5 times a week is what are my favorite colors, especially whites. So, are you ready? Here's my 3 go-to whites. These I can guarantee that 99% of the time I will be using these somewhere on a project. They are all 3 Benjamin Moore. You can find equivalents elsewhere, but they're amazing and they're warm and soft and neutral and they work with everything. They can be walls, they can be trim, they can be ceilings. They're just amazing. First one, of course, is Benjamin Moore Swiss Coffee. Second one is White Dove. And the third one is Cloud White. Now, it might be a little hard to see right here, but you can really tell. There's definitely a tonal difference between them. And these are just absolutely go-tos. You can always rely on them. But here's the caveat. If you didn't see this video on Stop Painting Now, you have to see that because I explain the process of the rule of 3. And everybody, regardless of whether or not it's a perfect paint for me, everybody needs to use the rule of 3 when they're testing out colors in their own space, because you never know what your light conditions are, and you always have to check that first before you go and spend all that money and paint and maybe need to repaint. So make sure you've checked on that. So guys, I was so looking forward to today because I couldn't wait to tell you about these new colors of the year, because it's such an exciting new shift and it's all easy to kind of bring in and integrate. And on top of that, you got my favorite whites of the year. What a deal! Okay guys, be sure to check out these videos and get on my email list at lisaholt.com so you'll know when everything is happening on the club, and I'll see you guys next week.